Sally. 34 years ago today, well, not today, but 34 years ago, our father, those of us who are in our family, our father died unexpectedly. And Phil was pregnant, and Roland was his first grandson, and he didn't live to see him, unfortunately. And it was a very long, hard winter for us. It happened in November, and it was a very long, hard winter, and it ended with Roland's birth, and he was named after my dad. And from the time, for me, when as a little baby he was put in my arms, the sun started shining again, and it's been shining on me ever since, whenever I'm around him. We have a very special relationship, and I wouldn't swap him for anything. I only found out fairly recently Roland was having a bit of a hard time, and I just met Sally, and she brought him to my house, and this makes me know that Sally's a sensible woman. She brought him to me and said, sort him out, he's lost his confidence. So we did a bit of work together, and on that day I found out that Roland has always thought of himself as Roland Allen Jr. And Roland, I want to tell you today, Roland Allen Sr. would be very proud of you this day. So I started off, well, you know, as a 13-year-old auntie, I was so proud of him, and I started taking him everywhere with me. We didn't see him all the time because he lived in Germany, but whenever they were over, he was with me all the time. So when he was 4, I bought him his first pair of roller skates, and I was fanatical about roller skating at the time. And there was one day, I can't believe that I did it now, but you actually still remember it, don't you? I actually skated a mile down through Headington in Oxford with Roland sitting on my shoulders to go to a carnival, and we had a great day. And he had his own little skates on, and he came skating with me. And I used to smuggle him into school with me, which I think may have had quite an influence on his later life, because I went to an all-girls school. I think it's my fault, Sally. I used to smuggle him into the sixth form block and leave him with my friends while I went and had a lesson, but I didn't like to let go of him when he was around. So he's turned out a bit girly in some ways, really. And Sally quite likes that about him, don't you? And me too, I find it endearing. But there was a time when I wondered. Roland used to, I had the pleasure of being the person who took Roland out clubbing when he first started going to clubs, and he used to come up, I lived in London at the time, and he used to come up to London, and I would say, I'll take you to any club, where do you want to go? I always wanted to go to a gay club. And he always told me it was because the music was better. So he brought his friend Neil up. Oh, I'm really sad Neil's not here tonight, actually. He brought his friend Neil up, and I took them to Heaven. It's a great club. It's quite expensive to get in even then. And as we were going in, the guy on the door said, "Are you with him?" And I went, "Well, I'm not with him. He's my nephew." And he went, "Okay, well, I'll let you in for nothing if you give me his phone number." So in a heartbeat, I pimped him out. But cleverly, I transposed the last 2 numbers of his phone number as I was giving it. And as we walked away, Roland went, "Why didn't you give him my right number?"
Bless.
Well, we went in and we had a great time, except for Neil, who stood with his proverbial back to the wall for the entire evening, looking somewhat grey. And Roland was out there on the dance floor, shaking his booty and throwing shapes. And at the end of the evening, we were driving home, and I asked Neil, "So Neil, did you have a good time?" And he went, "Well, I started off really hating it. And then I realised I had the best looking boyfriend in London." But he has had lots of girlfriends, as we all know. Mostly not the conventional kind, more like, "Hey girlfriend, it's the weekend, let's shop till we drop." And then he met Sally, and things changed a bit. And immediately I noticed he started sitting down to eat for the first time that I can remember. And when he sold his records, I knew he was desperately serious about you.
I didn't make it.
Yes, you did. No, you didn't. He was ready to do that for you.
I want my living
It's a
room
record.
back.
Roland has a bit of a vain streak, which some of you may have noticed. Well, less a streak and more a rich seam of vanity, really. He's been training recently so that he could look like Triangular Man for his wedding. So he's got a good shape from the back, you were all looking at him. And I know Sally's been getting daily reports about how tight his bum's getting. And last week I went out shopping with him, and he said, it's all right, we can go in this shop. And I was surprised that he was happy to go in this particular shop, and he went, that's all right, I make bad clothes look good. I think he chose me to be his best man because I'm a woman. It still leaves him as the best man today. Just one more thing on his kind of girliness. Last night we were in here and he was wearing his boxing top, which Sally had bought him for his wedding night. And he's got, this is my boxing top, I really love it. And he's got white boxing gloves with bits of pink on them. And I said, are you, on that jacket, Roland, you're going to have your boxing name written across the back? And he went, yeah. Oh, just before that, sorry, he had a bit of glitter on his face here, and I leant over and just went like that. He went, what are you doing? I said, you got glitter on your face. He went, don't, I like it. So then I said, so what's your boxing name going to be? He went, oh, I haven't thought of it. Hang on. How about Crystal? 5 minutes later he came back with Crystal Glitter. Which would be less funny if it weren't true. That actually happened. So I want to honour who you are to me, Roland, because like I said, when you were born and you came into my life, you brought the sunshine back in. And you brought the sunshine back in ever since. We have, like you said, you've told me about a lot of things, and I have you too. You're a very close friend of mine, one of the best, and we have learnt together, laughed together, shed tears together, and done all kinds of things that aunties and nephews don't normally do together. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for being in my life, and no one will ever be like you. Sally, you've made him truly happy, and I'm very grateful for that, and I'm sure the rest of the family are too, particularly his parents. I could tell very early on when he met you that he was really serious about you, because he phoned me up and went, it's my turn, I've got a girlfriend. And that was different from the kind that you went shopping with. Sally is beautiful, smart, loving, funny, a very together woman, and truly caring. And she deserves a fantastic husband.
That's the voice, not her, is it?
And I am actually going to give away the line that I could have used then. At the expense of a cheap laugh, I have to say, I think she's got one. Roland is endearing, eccentric, loving, and without judgment. He has open hands and an open heart, always ready with a laugh. And like Jim said, he really will go the extra mile and then some. He's always ready to do a favour for everybody. So, Sally and Roland, I truly think you found your match. And it really is a match made in heaven. So once again, please raise your glasses. I wish you love, laughter, and happy ever after. Ladies and gentlemen, Roland and Sally. Thank you.